Hey, last session, a couple weeks ago now, you guys uh gathered up and a bunch of escort them to in an evacuation. You guys made it far across your enemy while out fought seemingly undead war and after successfully protecting the camp from the no casualties, you guys continued on only to about a day away from France come across a somewhat familiar face, or lack of a face, as saw at least a couple of you recognized the figure you saw right before the attack on the capital. He quickly, and after unleashing two creatures onto the party, a chimera and a weird griffin that is like corrupted by like earth magic some kind and lacks wings. They both attacked the party, and with some definite struggle, the party managed to defeat the party like
Nice. Uh, what time is it in the day?
it is.
Okay. I mean, we can
Might as
move.
well go ahead.
We can keep moving and at least until nighttime, but then we will have to rest again.
I believe end of the last session there was about harvesting.
True. Absolutely. True.
Survival check.
Well, first things first.
Hmm?
Let me open my character sheet. I'm Fred. I'm Fred. Make sure I've got the spell. I usually take it. Found it. Okay. I'm gonna cast borrow knowledge and get survival.
Uh, Somebody else gonna
Nice.
harvest the a witch creature
The three-headed one.
gonna try to harvest the.
The Japanese.
Does anybody have survival as their skill?
Uh,
No,
I do
not.
for the next hour.
if no, I can try for sure.
I mean, I don't really have that as a skill. I just have an okay wisdom score.
Hmm. Well, I'll give it a try. See if I can somehow pierce off earth and rock bits from it or something.
Got this.
17. Okay.
Enough for it.
That's not bad
So starting
for a
with
+1. Nice.
starting with a chimera. Chimera with a 22, can get first fire breath pouch. Chimera. Mark that off. Roll, 1d20.
Ooh,
Got 2 intact claws. Another roll a
15.
got 1 lion tooth out of that, and 14 drake teeth. Rolled
My fingers are being stuttery. Sorry. 9.
Wow.
well, you have 9 pounds of chimera hide. Now on to other creatures. 17. 10.
14.
Rocks. Actually. Put 14 alk spines. ALK. Indeed.
10.
10 alk claw.
7.
7 pounds of its hide.
Gotcha.
Are you guys just going to continue on until night?
Seems
I
like the
think it
best.
would be better if we just pitched tent and took a nap or now.
If you guys want to do that, sure. I could recover my tail again.
I will
I'm
say
fine either way.
you guys are traveling with a couple hundred, and this is not a location that would be big camp for.
Moon's gonna look around, uh, and then how roughly what time of day is it
Around
after all
4.
is said and done? After all is said and done with the harvesting,
Oh,
That's probably about 5 p.m.
Yeah,
Moon would look to the group suggestion of moving for another hour or so before making camp.
we should look at somewhere that is easy to defend.
Yeah.
Correct. This is not good.
Yeah, it's a bad spot. Good spot
We
for an
are
ambush, bad spot for a camp.
boxed in with no high ground. We should get moving.
Yeah, we don't want to end up burned.
What'd you say?
I said, yeah, we don't want to end up burned. It was a joke.
Sorry. Brain didn't process you speaking for a second. Ugh. Is everyone good to move?
Fred gives a big thumbs up.
Oh, but it's already ready to move. So,
Remind me who this one was, Chris?
That is half-orc companion on the way dance.
Right.
Alva.
They're the one that we found at the camp.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. The half orc jogged my memory. Thank you.
Yes, you all killed brothers.
Well, they declared themselves to be the leader, and well, we know what happened after that.
I'm the leader now.
Thunk. Anyways,
We'll hop back onto your parts and on until at least for another hour or two end up finding a good place to make camp for the night. Thankfully, because you are so close to the city, nothing have um come to attack you. Those that were actively brought here at a the next day, probably around PM, managed to get close enough to see the city of Chance.
hmm,
During
well,
the
that's good.
night, the purple clouds did very much open and seemed
Hey,
to have reached Chance. However, something seems to be keeping the clouds from being directly over itself by like a mile. As somebody seems to either be controlling the weather around the city currently to keep the clouds away, or some kind of barrier.
well, that can only be a good thing, hopefully.
shelter
Hopefully.
from this unknown storm is appreciated.
As you guys get close to the city, about a mile or so around the city seems to be a massive encampment. The people you are bringing with you are only a fraction of the people who have fled here.
That is not good.
Looks like everyone is taking their chances.
It seems like your estimation, possibly the city of Esdeath also fled here, and you know of the people of Burrow having gone through Bristol with and to get here as
Well, uh, I'm gonna have some to do some explanation to the guards.
as you guys and get close. You guys are coming up from top. Need to put your down. This is each person, each token I have placed down is a good 10 plus people.
That's a lot of people.
You do see a couple familiar faces scattered amongst a bunch that are people from Burrow. You saw Tan escorting out of the city, and the you have brought with you have already started spreading out and setting up their own tents, expecting to, even if they can get into the city, for it to be a while. The people who have the mayor of the city, town leader, does thank you all for escorting them here, and seeing as they aren't going to get into the city for probably some time, are going to go ahead and give you 3,000 gold.
Money.
Ooh.
They so
Yeah, most definitely. This does that will be like 600 gold per person, I think. Something like that.
If we're including, I think Tan was their name.
3, 4.
do not see
Should be
tan around
5.
here.
No,
Should be 5 with Tan. We can always give her her portion when we see her.
Yeah.
So
600 to each and 600 set aside for Tan.
As you guys move throughout the encampment, do you guys just go?
yeah. At least I will go. I will be very interested in whatever is causing the rift between the city and the purple clouds.
Not to mention, the only way that we could find out more information and potentially form a plan of how to help would be probably going to the city. So it's our only option currently.
As you guys start walking, and it takes like a good bit of walking to get to the city from here. And as you see, you do see like there are hundreds upon hundreds of civilians that are just camped outside the city, either waiting to get in, or maybe the city is full, not not here. But as you get to the city's gates itself, you see there are a lot of guards out here, essentially keeping out. Uh, as you walk up, civilians or adventurers,
Adventurers.
you have your licenses.
Fred pulled out his license.
Does Moon even have one? Now that I think about it, I
do.
do. Right.
Every adventurer has one.
And
Uh,
money
Moon
I
would
have one.
Moon would open a plate, then that lets out a small placard.
Weirdly enough, Grinalda also seems to have one. Uh,
Hmm.
has not come up at all. Um, you don't
Fair
know
enough.
you don't know whether or not it was actually hers, but she seems to be in possession of an adventure kind of license. Uh,
Hmm.
it'd be 10 gold to get into.
Um,
Fred pays 50, 40 gold. 50.
Okay. Thank you for paying in tax to get and go in now. And you see these large, like the city itself is surrounded by these giant walls, like probably a good 80 to 100 feet tall, and these very large doors just are kind of like open, and the guards kind of just go behind you and just form like a wall, like tower shields, as you guys go
damn. There was a lot of gold flying entry.
thank you.
in. As you guys step in, you see possibly the most populated city and possibly the most wealthy city you have ever laid eyes upon.
I can see why they do not need or want more people to stay.
As you do go in, there there isn't as much panic as you might expect from the what's been going on the inside. You did see a lot of people read it in the encampments, the clouds not being able to make contact with about a mile radius, relatively. You do see some shops have started like closing up, um, whether or not wanting to leave further, or not wanting bothered at them. But as you guys come in from, guys enter, seems to be a, it's like a park kind of situation where there's no houses, um, say as much as there are just open areas where you see people just kind of entertaining themselves in some way. Some people like drinking. There's a lot of trees around. Throughout the city in general, from what you grasp, there is quite a bit of nature weaved throughout the city. Some wouldn't expect a major trade city or major entertainment district to have so much wildlife, considering what all goes down here. There is a great mixture of different kinds, like, even more so than what you've seen in like capital cities. Like you see some very rare races here as well. Like there is a decent amount of war. Um, the dwarves, which you rarely see anywhere. A lot of beast folk, and some of the rare options that usually you see goblins and hobgoblins roaming around like regular people. You even see a random like troll like wandering this.
Hmm. Nice.
Hmm.
As you guys travel further down the road, you do get into like this area right here seems to be a massive like outdoor theater. It is currently not being used for any performances. A a very large stage, multi-tiered, and like a whole bunch of like places for it. You see off in the distance, there's a massive like arena type situation over here. There is another giant wall that is seemingly surrounding the center part of the city. Not you cannot see into it, um, see what is inside, but as you go further, you see there are many shops. Like any type of like item that you would want to find can probably be found here. Um, unless it's something like a legendary item that you find one of. Um, even stuff that is illegal in like every other city. They seem to regularly trade contraband items here. You
Ah,
could
so it's a city of pure fair trade.
It's more so they do not care about black market things. They just like literally anybody can be here. Um, as long as you follow the city's rules, you can do whatever you want here, essentially. Uh, the black market is very much above the streets. Uh, no slavery or anything like that. That's been outlawed throughout the entire country, but except this city is an exception to many other.
Wonder what kind of pets you could buy here.
In the this corner, this entire build like this entire one building, the giant casino. This is the only city where gambling is entirely legal. So you will find many places that have some form of gambling. This entire area appears a giant casino if you care. As you guys cross one of the entrances, or ask around, maybe ask a guard what's in. That is where the Adventuring Guild is with several other guilds. It is also in the center building there, where the city and his council. It
Probably would
is.
be a smart idea.
It costs another 10 gold to go in there if you want
Oh,
Oh,
man.
of some kind of guild membership. But you could stay outside of it.
Oh my god.
Guys
travel's
recently
expensive.
guys re- yeah, it's a it's you can probably guess there's probably a ton of corruption in the city. Uh
I mean, if the black market's up on the streets and it's literally a city of if you're selling something for coin, you pay the tax and we don't care, you pay us and you're fine to sell. There's probably got to be a whole lot more corruption that's not seen. Oh,
if you guys do eventually go up into the top section, you will get it's a one-time payment as long so you won't have to pay it every time you come and go.
Okay.
The if you guys recently got a pretty big payday. Anything else you guys want to do in the
Fred looks around and says, "This is a big place. Where do you guys want to go?"
Um. Well,
what time is it?
well, it about 1 p.m. when you guys got into the outskirts, so it's probably about 30 right now, maybe 3 o'clock after all the walking around.
Finding a guild might yield useful information.
Well, to do that, we're gonna go up into the upper city.
Correct.
then we do just that.
10 gold.
Moon,
Uh,
Eh,
moon will,
yeah.
Ronaldo does
moon
not
will,
follow you into the upper city.
moon will follow the front the 40.
Okay.
Ronaldo just says, "I've got find. Might see you later, might not. Luck."
Thank you
Good
for
luck
the
to you,
help.
sir. Good luck.
And Grinaldo will walk off into the city quickly. Crowd. Will enter the top district, having been given this little. It's like a little placard on a rope as like a pass for your party to carry around. Um, it's relatively just a proof of purchase, so to speak. Purchased access to the upper city. As you go in, you see it is even more wealthy looking up in this area. Or rare types of plants are grown up here. A lot less people. There's probably still like a good couple hundred, but not anywhere near as populated as the many of the buildings are way larger, glamorous. The Adventuring Guild is right here, so it is right through the entrance. You guys head inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This place
Yeah.
is packed. There are a lot of adventurers. Uh, they've kind of split into different. A good half the building seems to be wary of the other half. Uh, they are kind of staying off in their corners, watching their backs. The other half of the adventuring seems to be entertained by them. they all have various smirks. They're talking to each other, like making fun of the other half, and they all seem a lot more shady. Um, these are probably the adventurers who have resided in the city for a very long
Yeah.
time.
What's
And
Fred was about to say?
the other half are the people who have just kind of fled here or led the other cities here. Um, the actual insides of the building itself are not as intact as you would expect from the outside of this building. Uh, there are the adventurers here have definitely run amok here. Um, the guild receptionists do not look like they are all there. They've probably dealt with a lot that a human should probably not have to deal with, and have kind of just checked out or are very finicky. Uh,
Oh yeah.
the job board or the mission board uh doesn't seem to have a lot on it currently available. Um, it seems like just the sheer amount of adventurers here probably means like if there were jobs to take, most of them have probably already been taken. Uh, there are more
Right.
adventurers than there are jobs.
That's thankfully not why we came here. So I'm not sure the quality of information we will get.
Probably gives them more information than they can give us, to be honest. Fred makes his way up to the counter.
You see this wiry gnome woman standing on like a stool behind the front desk, like, what can I do? Not familiar faces. What do you want?
All right. I was wondering if you had any information about what's going on in the area, other than
And asked that hundreds of times over the last week. Uh, all we know is that whatever it is seems to uh be held at bay by some of the that are within the city. Um, I believe they're using some kind of magic to control the weather. Um, we do
oh,
not know much at all. In fact, any attempts to find out have seemingly been held back. Uh,
held
I
back by who?
do not know. Uh, it seems like anybody we try, any attempt we've tried to get information outside the city, they do not come back. For those who do come back, did not make it very far before turning. Um, the mages here not know what is going on, and they are just scrambling to try to stop it. So,
We we have some information that might help in that regards.
uh, give me one moment. And she pulls out a orb and puts it on the counter and just pushes a button on it. And you guys choose to fail the save or not.
Um.
I'm going to choose to fail it.
Uh, I mean, Moon's not talking. I don't know.
She the
There's no
Oh,
reason to do much. Just kind of sitting there.
I'll let her scribe in my brain if she wishes.
as you guys are put under a zone of
Okay.
if you guys do have information, gladly accept it. Uh, what is it?
Some idiot released Pandora.
Ah, is this Pandora?
Demi-goddess of chaos.
Ah, well, he faints.
Fred looks at her go down, watches her go down, says,
Another receptionist seems to be a Goliath. Just walks over, picks her up with one hand, and goes back, and then comes out like 2 minutes later. Continue.
yeah. She killed the whole city of Periton. She was throwing a temper tantrum, apparently.
She is the
And then,
cause of clouds.
yes, man. Yes. Yes, she is.
Why?
Apparently, they're looking to draw the world into chaos again.
Hope we're able to keep spell up enough to them. The city is already enough chaos as it is. Anything else you would like to make us aware of?
Um, there was somebody, this no-face guy outside the city. He had a chimera and some weird bird thing. They're dead now. He's gone.
Uh, can't say that we've ever heard of that man before. The city has had plenty of off. Many have been appearing. Protect our city from that. That is all. Figure out some way to reward you. Uh, so we have something in mind. Uh, I'll go and find something. And she takes the orb and disappears into the back.
Well,
Well, then,
What? It was some idiot.
If it wasn't
I
some
have
idiot,
no.
you would not have been able to just say it.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder who that idiot is.
I don't know.
After about 10 minutes, uh, the Goliath woman comes back out. A small chest. Side is not currency. It is like this ring, some sort, has a gem hidden in it. This is and would be could be given as a bit lacking on monetary venture is currently here turned in is magic.
Fred
Be of
will take it. Thank you. Anything is
Welcome.
helpful.
Thank you for your information. be able to deliver it somebody who will not cause mass panic.
Good luck on that. Seems to be the order of the day lately.
Yes. Thankfully they're kind of used to chaos. Hopefully it will not have the worst outcome. Thanks again. Luck out
You're
there in the
welcome.
city.
What's the ring do, by the way?
Oh, I'm not a mage per se. Uh, it's like element supposed to help with magic.
Okay, thank you.
You always just can enjoy it.
Well, I say we go find someplace to stay.
That
I'll
would
look
be
around.
a good idea. Figure out our next plan there.
Oh, next plan would be figuring out where the druids are, I imagine, and what they do to prevent these clouds from forming as well. And hope
There's
that
like some
Panda,
kind of weather control.
yeah, but like how could we use this on a countrywide scale? You know, this is not the only place that.
Likely not countrywide, probably used to isolate cities from the weather effects until we could, or somebody could, determine how to reverse the effects upon the world.
Alternatively, we also could learn how to harness this skill so we can perhaps face Pandora in the future without us getting risk of being in whatever purple aura she could cast around us.
I mean, you don't want to get your neck snapped.
No, I don't want to get my long, slimy neck snapped. Thank you.
I am
Also,
unsure if my neck can even be snapped.
don't want to find out.
Well, let me put it this way: if your neck snaps and somehow your brain is not on your head, you still won't be able to see anymore.
Perhaps.
Anyway,
All
for
right.
now, I don't know, look for an inn.
Hmm.
That ring, party magic items,
All right.
an elemental ring of fire, rare.
Um, anybody have a problem with giving this to Ebony?
I don't do fire.
Me neither. Well, I have my flaming spear, but that's about it.
I'm sorry, what are we giving me?
A ring that makes your fire more fire.
Oh, okay,
Does require attunement.
okay.
Is in the party magic. What does the party do now? Have the entire city.
Well, I think the first thing we need to do is go find a place to stay.
There are many, many taverns. Uh,
Okay, to rephrase that, a decent place to stay.
roll 1d50.
Hmm.
Fort Curse.
Alright. Oh, I gotta type it out.
Get us the dankiest
30.
place.
You got above average. You
It's
do.
not run down.
Oh no, not by any means. It's still a better tavern than you've seen in most. It's just not a luxurious one.
Perfect. Don't need luxury. Just don't want run down. It'll be perfect.
See a decent size, good 3 or 4 or building. Um, named like Cheerful Maiden. It's it's nicer looking. Not the outside of it is really kept clean. The people outside of it aren't sketchy. Nice blue filigree on the outside of the. Go inside. There are not a ton of people here. Uh, just it is not. It's not nighttime yet, so there might be more people later on. But right now there are not all that many people. Like a good. There should definitely be some room to rent.
How
The
expensive are
pricing.
the rooms?
There's like a sign behind the counter that's like the prices of. There's each for a room. It's 5 gold. Definitely on
Perfect.
the pricier side. It comes with like a the inside on like this is on the second floor bar there with very nice.
Hmm.
Perfect.
Well, just how long do we think we will stay for?
Right, look around. I would say we start with 3 days, unless unless we get another job.
That seems good.
Sounds like a plan. At least we can. At least that will give us enough time to find out our plans as well as how this weather control works out.
Yep.
How many rooms?
How big are the rooms?
How many
Uh,
beds are in each room?
beds per.
So we need at least 2 rooms to have enough beds for all the people who need beds to sleep.
Nights each. So that would be
So it'd
30
be
gold.
Moon will pay for it.
So you
Oh,
now
you're
that you
off. And
uh, what do you guys do now that you have procured your place of rest for the next day?
Good question.
which question?
Oh, I said good question.
Oh,
About 5 p.m.
I mean, just scheme without a voice real quick. We know that they don't know much about what's going on. We know druids are currently keeping the city safe from the fog. We know that currently we probably know more than everyone in the city about what's actually happening. So the best bet for us here would probably be to find some way to talk to at least a druid to figure out what's going on more with that.
What I was saying to say.
And maybe even talk to some mages to see what they might have figured out in the time that they've been scrambling to do anything.
Know that there is most likely a kind of guild for that people up in the upper city, but it is getting kind of later in the day. It is 5 p.m. now. Do you guys want to try to go to that guild to try to figure out what's going on?
They're probably be closing soon. I say we rest for tonight, get a good rest, and then start in the morning.
Oh, if anything, we can also just walk. See if we can, if they are somehow open. If not, then it will be a nice walk.
True, true.
Guys is staying in is in this part. It
Ping that again, please. Okay.
It'll
Thank
take
you.
about 45 minutes to walk up into the top district.
Large is large. Okay, well, if then in that case, if we walk, it will probably be 6 p.m. by the time we get to any building.
Yeah.
Might be better to wait till tomorrow.
We should wake up early though.
Do we need any equipment?
We can deal with that tomorrow as well.
Of course.
So do you guys just stay at the inn?
For now.
Nice not to be in the purple clouds.
Much more reassuring to be behind some kind of spell protecting you. It As it draws later into the day, the city does seem to have a decent nightlife, as it does not seem to quiet down at all. Lights come on throughout the city that keep it, while not super bright, at the very least illuminated enough to see everything. When it comes time to have your that is provided after, under the 5 gold, given a menu that has a various amount of different kinds of food. You have like 10 different kinds of stews, desserts, and you are also given a menu for drinks. Many of the items here are provided 5 gold. There are some that you could pay extra, like the higher class wines. Get like a bottle of it for like 10 gold. There is one item on the menu that is significantly more, 105 gold. Shot of wheat.
Weave?
That is what it has. Shot of wheat. Any of you guys ask about it?
Yeah, yeah. Fred will be the one to ask. Yeah, excuse me. Is this a straight shot of magic?
Uh, I'm not exactly sure. The handing out the menu and everything is a like a weirdly enough a tiefling. You have not seen a tiefling anywhere. Uh, as they are extremely rare these days. They say
We live on.
it. I am not exactly sure what out of. I am not. I do not think magic is of magic. To drink, obtain a seemingly random magic of another form of gambling.
I'll
No
let
matter
you.
what, you will gain something.
I'll let you guys. Sorry, sorry. I was just gonna say I will let you guys gamble at what your skills if you wish.
Is it permanent?
I guess that would depend on what. Lucky enough, a long-lasting. It depends.
And I guess there's bad luck too.
I mean, I have not seen
I wonder for
take
bad
it
stuff.
and gain a negative of
Gotcha.
various degrees.
What the hell? I'll try it. He,
Anybody else try it?
Sure, why not?
Moon's
You
just kind of staring at you guys.
you only live
you're
once.
Surprisingly, Ebony will shell out the money too.
Okay, so that's 3 out of 4 party members.
Well, I can't drink anything or eat, so
You could consume it if you want. It is not a normal drink. So do you want?
oh, knowing that Moon knows they can't eat or drink things, they don't know you could just that you can consume it and still get affected by it. He just assumes it's a drink. I can't drink.
Question: have Warforged ever come here to take this drink?
Well, there was one, and they did seem to get something from it. They
See,
actually reside near the gladiatorial.
see, all you have to do is apply like oil, perhaps.
Hmm.
They just tossed it back into what appeared to be a crevice-like mouth.
Um. Well, that's. I mean, I guess Moon can just dump it into where their helmet is, but that's like the only spot they got as a quote mouth because they don't actually have one technically.
It's magic, not like
No,
liquor.
I'm saying that. I'm saying that out of character.
He,
Uh,
she's further explaining.
mm, you said 100,
Magic.
right?
Don't necessarily how it. The person who makes it is very um secretive.
You said 100, right? 120. Okay. Moon will slowly build a stack of a few stacks of coins and then put it in a small sack for the waiter. One, please.
I she'll take the gold of it all pouch. Yep. It seems to be a bag of holding. I will be back with
thank you.
ears out back behind a door. About 10 minutes later, back with a tray that has 10 vials of like a iridescent, like swirling liquid type substance.
And
I would recommend taking the proper and it does you'll just hand each vials.
Okay. On three,
One,
2, 3.
and everyone, and
as
and it
as
goes.
as you all down it just says have a nice and each one of
wow. Okay.
I I don't know if I like that ooh sound. Oh, this will be interesting.
Uh, uh, yeah. Tommy's currently in be right back mode.
Okay.
Does some no, it's luck.
It's her luck, yeah.
He's headed back now.
Okay. D100.
Come on, you can do it. Roll something good.
Wait, is this gonna be like the what that one fluid from Pathfinder that if you drink you roll a D100 and
I
you
do
get a
not play Pathfinder.
oh I remember I played a rat and I rolled a number and I got moth wings on my rat.
None of you. Oh, not too. Uh, yep. None of you rolled low. Each of you, as soon within like the first like 2 seconds, nothing happens, and then all four of you heads hit the table,
Uh,
and well, when you guys seemingly just 1 second you're in the tavern having down the shot, and then another second like overstimulated as you don't see the rest, like each individual of you doesn't see the rest of your party as you are now in what could only be described as an extremely populated club. There's music you've never heard of playing. Like you've never heard music anything like this playing. You see various figures, like none of them look solid. Everybody, including yourself, if you look down, appears to be like some amorphous mass of some
Oh dear.
like some of them having figures like a long nose, maybe like an elephant or something, or very long limbs that are still um but you just are overstimulated by like bright lights flashing like different colors, extremely loud party music. Each one of you is approached by a figure. You are approached by a red figure that seems to have like amorphous wings spreading from the back. Red
Oh.
are approached by uh a white figure that seems to have like this radiant amorphous halo above their head. Ebony are approached by a figure. Seems to have like weird tendrils, like amorphous tendrils off their face. And Sheikah, or not Sheikah, uh,
Bala.
Bala, are approached by a doesn't seem to have any kind of weird
Perfectly normal.
Yes.
figure. Hear a voice. Why not? I'll give you a. And you see, like in one of the hands, like a amorphous blob that could be their hand reach out, and you feel a burning touch on what would be your head.
Oh,
They pull back. They back
but
up and just back into red. This radiant light just kind of like almost dances up to you in a weird way. Well, aren't you like for sore eyes? You already have one of mankind's touch. I wonder what would happen if you had two. And they like quickly like turn you around before you could even react, and just kind of place their palm on what would be your back, and you feel like this weird like pulse go through. I hope she won't be jealous. I hope it mixes with. See you next time. And the amorphous kind of like dances like backwards back into the current mosh pit that has formed. Ebony, this green wispy tendril form kind of like slowly moves toward with like their what would be like appendages like arms just like out, and just both like feel like you like hands just right on both sides of your head as it just like what would it be its head just like moves around just looking at you. I didn't feel in the fates I will see. Not here, of course. Later down. Thing you. Bye. And they flick your forehead, and you feel like coldness as you are like literally thrown out. And Bala,
Oh dear.
that appears doesn't say anything. They just this tendril, maybe a tail or something, comes out and wraps around your what would be your neck,
Jeez.
and you feel like a pressure, not painful pressure, that kind of radiates a kind of cold energy before you are thrown across the room and wake up.
Jeez.
Everybody wakes up within about 10 to 20.
uh, the voice went out.
whoa! You back,
And
Chris?
yeah, did you not hear?
Yeah,
Uh,
your voice died.
Where did it
you
die?
you like
You said
10
10
to
to 20
20.
seconds. I'm
Okay.
guessing.
Yeah, you guys all wake up within 10 to 20 seconds of
yeah.
having your head hurts a bit from having from it having smacked the table. But you definitely all feel a power of some sort. Moon,
Ugh.
you have a rune on your forehead. It
Well, I
is
can't see
red.
my forehead.
Yeah, yes, but you are currently aware of a very like it feels like it's sizzling still. But it is bright red and is slowly like getting dimmer. Everybody else can um currently have permanent resistance.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Well then, that's interesting.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you able to hear?
Yes, I can. My mic just did something. Anyway. But yeah, you feel like you are just able to further resist fire. Uh, Fred, your wings are out.
Uh,
You
You
have
haven't really
wings?
used them in combat. But yeah, you are an Azamar.
this is
Haven't
kind of
used
uncomfortable, actually.
Yeah, your wings are out and are bigger than before. Um while they are out, you have your fly speed when your wings are out is now 60 feet. And they while that thing is active, now radiate 15 feet of bright light and 15 feet dim.
Cool.
Ebony, your head hurts. Not just the outside of it, but the inside of it, as you'll for like a good like 10 seconds. Your thoughts are kind of like blurry, like in a daze, where the world comes back into focus. Actual name. Uh, like a almost like a of some kind, like surround, and you currently have like a mental shield. Things cannot read your thoughts unless you want them to, and you have advantage on effects against charm. You have advantage against things that would charm you.
Neat.
Bala,
You're muted, Tammy.
I heard her say neat.
So, the ring of mind shielding, which does pretty much what you just said, except for giving me advantage on the charm effect, uh, it does the same thing.
yeah, so you wouldn't need the ring anymore.
Okay.
if you wanted to give it to somebody else. Um, yes. The random dice gods speak. Bala,
It's
uh,
me.
already have water breathing by any chance?
I do not.
Um,
Amphibian. Amphibian doesn't grant water breathing, I think. So no.
I mean, amphibians in general, the term amphibian means that they, it can.
It's more of like a salamander lizard man.
yeah, they
But
are
it
a yeah, they're based off of like the skinks, like uh, that's the subclass that like it's like a gecko or
So for
um
more drier areas, yeah.
like a swan. Um, now breathe underwater, as well as you have advantage on saves against being
nice. I very much appreciate not being poisoned.
will help very much if you go when you go back home. Because there's a lot
Huh.
of poisons in the swamp.
Also, poison also makes physical attacks, which is my main focus, pretty bad.
You can breathe underwater, and you have advantage on saves. Write all those down on your.
Yep, already done.
Same with me.
Barry rubs his forehead.
Alright.
That was definitely a trick.
Your minds are still kind of reeling from it.
Sheesh.
For the next uh say hour or so, guys are kind of only half there. Your brains are still kind of reeling from the experience of it all, and you are currently under what is essentially you are drunk, but not off of liquor, off of magic.
The machine spirit is confused.
How did you magic users get along so well with this kind of stuff?
It does not affect you like this. You channel it out, not into you most of the time.
Wonder what creatures were those?
Yeah. Moon got the luckiest. They got a full blown resist. Uh,
I find it funny that we all got an effect that actually fits pretty well to the character.
well,
Yeah.
I would the one that Ebony got. I was really when I planned this effect, I was really hoping that Gary would get it. Um, that could have been real funny.
Oh, that
But
would have been really funny.
yes, you all got the one Moon got is hilarious in retrospect. Um, and you
I'm a
guys might
robot.
see why.
I'm metal. Well, besides that, I'm metal. Fire don't really do much to metal unless the fire's really, really, really hot.
Yes, but it'll be funnier why that's the one you got
Oh yeah.
later
Oh
on.
yeah.
When you meet certain characters. But yes, you guys just head to bed because you're kind of drunk on magic right now.
Um,
Kinda.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
a rest cycle would be a good idea.
All head bed, and those of you who can sleep too. Ebony, your dreams are real weird tonight. Make a wisdom save. 9.
Oh dear.
Real weird. You do not get a good grasp on what you're actually seeing in your dream. But it feels like somebody is trying to connect and communicate with you, but you're just not currently capable of understanding it in your current. But you do wake up just like any other, when almost like a cold sweat, but you are perfectly fine, it seems. Everybody
Would
wakes
the
up.
dream still be with her when she wakes up?
Uh, uh,
Would her dream still be with her when she wakes up?
you
Like
can
she
remember
remembers
the
parts of it. Okay.
your mic is a little low.
Yeah, I had it up. Sorry.
Okay. I'll wake up.
We have 2 more nights paid for here. We
Where do we
should
want to go first?
find the druid or mage.
I'm kind of more worried about you, buddy. Pats him on the
Why?
shoulder, pokes him in the fleshy bit. I don't know. A little weird.
I can handle that on my own, finding a smith.
But let's go do that then.
If you wish,
Try to find what exactly kind of person are you trying?
Moon would be looking for a, the best, I guess, description is just golem smith, but someone who works with warforges, or works with, automatons or some form of, uh, machine, like clockwork machine or powered machine like that.
There is a inventors up in the upper city building right here. That would probably be your best bet.
We have to pay the gold to go up there again, don't we?
No, as long as you are residing with.
Awesome. Okay. We should go there then.
All right.
Sure.
Though you do not have to accompany me to get checked up with an inventor.
I disagree. I'm worried about you, buddy.
Yeah, especially with that strange thing inside of you.
Yeah, you have a rune on your forehead now.
You have wings.
Yes, but we knew about that. Again,
No.
we knew about that.
You can only pull them out for like a minute a day.
Yeah.
But aren't they like, if I remember what you said right now, they're just out, yeah?
No, they were out. Got back
Ah.
because the ability kind of affected his celestial.
I thought it was that they were like permanently out now.
No, that if he had rolled higher,
Oh.
the higher you roll, the better effect you get.
Well,
Well, either way.
now we're gonna have to keep gacha in the drinks and try to get a 100.
Do you
I
want to
pulled
drink
that
it
one.
again?
Don't. Okay, I add a character. Don't. Back when I did it in Pathfinder, I did it once. I rolled a 100 and got super fucking lucky. Don't try it. It's probably a lot more milder things, but not as helpful. But you aren't getting it.
I,
Oh, don't
I'm
worry, mate.
I'm I'm saying this now. What I made was not based off of any Pathfinder or anything. You can drink this drink as many times as you want, but you do not know what'll happen.
You can drink the one in the Pathfinder system as many times as you want as well. It's just expensive to get it here, and we don't know other effects that it could have.
We're gonna explode with magic.
If you want to spend your time drinking more magical potions to try and change your effect,
No,
I guess.
my character wouldn't do that. She's untrusting after this trip.
So, how far away is the Inventors Guild that we're going to then from the end?
About an hour.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
We'll head off to Enters Guild, or half the party going.
I know I'm going with Moon. Who else is going with Moon? Or are you guys gonna split off?
I'm gonna go with Moon. Why not?
Ebony is going to stay at the inn for a little while.
Okay. So the rest of the party heads off to. You eventually do get to there. Like there's a main building, and then there's 5 offshoots that have like somewhat smaller buildings that are about half the size of the big. Uh, but you see, there is a bunch of stuff going on, like a bunch of different, like not experiments going on, but like days of different like inventions that they're on. They have finished. Some of them are golem like creation. Most of them non-human still. The golems.
Moon would approach one, like the closest person, asking, "Who is or the person I could talk to assess potential damage to me?"
You see, like a dwarf standing, like admiring. Uh, we have many people who work with construct. There's a building out back. They'll tend to stay. Uh, Probably check there.
Thank you for the information, and Moon will head to whatever building they would have referenced.
It's the biggest one out back. Um, you see there are a lot of people like past a couple of the buildings. One of them seems to be on like what would definitely be like forbidden. Um, in like there are like flesh crafter immortal like inventors where they make like flesh golems and that. Um, this city probably being the only place where they can actually craft. You pass one that are working on like the like gadgets, little weird like inventions there. One of them you just see like a grappling hook just shoot out the window, breaking it, cracks back in, almost hitting you. But you do get to like this big warehouse type building that has not as many people working on it, but there are like a good like handful of various races currently like tinkering with the construct.
You would attempt to find one who doesn't appear to be like busy in their own work.
One of one of them seems to have just like finished up with this like large humanoid construct that they were. They are a
Excuse me, Could you potentially assist in assessing potential damage and intrusion of unknown parasite?
Parasite, you say?
Moon gestures towards some of the holes in the armor where the flesh is grown through.
That's real nasty right there. Uh, Here, come to my not office, my lab. Come to my lab. As he trying to like just starts skittering off to a back room.
Moon will follow.
You see back here, it's almost like what is almost like a surgical table. With like a bunch of tools around it and everything. That's kind of like propped up, so like nothing is currently on it, but it looks like it probably works with a lot of human construct. Uh, as
Which thankfully he is.
is kind of like he just pops up onto his stool, pats the table's like, come lay down here, real, and get a good look at.
He follows the instruction. Just
Now, do I have consent to pop you open, real?
affirmative.
Hey, I think it'll probably as he takes like a weird tool, just kind of like twist it in several like parts of your body, and just like your chest like pops open, and what you see is very concerning. As just like what could have what like almost resemble like kind of like bits of flesh popping up. Most of your inner mechanics are covered in it. Um, he looks very upset. Uh, at the sight of it. And he goes,
Ac-
"Now, how did this ungodly mess happen?"
Acquired when taking massive damage from unknown flesh monster. Injected parasites into me. Been searching for assistance till now.
How long ago was this? Been about
Hey
3 weeks.
Chris, out of character. I was about to say Chris, out of character. How long ago was Paraton?
Been about 3 weeks to a
Uh,
month.
almost a month.
Well, let's just say this parasite has definitely progressed. Uh, what were you wanting me to do about it?
What can be done?
Well, he takes like the tool and just pokes at it, and the mass just like wriggles, and like a tendril comes out, and he pulls back the tool so it can be grabbed. Um, it's hard for me to say with 100% certainty, but it seems to have been actually grafted into parts. It might be extremely difficult and potentially lethal to uh
That is unfortunate.
extremely so. I have never seen anything like this before. It is currently making me question sanity. Uh Overall, it might actually just be safer to give you a new body. That gets expensive.
Is there any damage that looks like it might lead to imminent death?
Well, if this thing has progressed as much as it has and it hasn't killed you yet, I'm not sure that's its goal. So it's hard to say. Uh it doesn't seem to be damaging your innards. or so just melding to them, combining with them. It's covering
Is
a lot.
better than I thought it was trying to do, but still concerning.
Yeah, I have no idea what it's gonna do. Like if it's just covering your insides, like that in itself could cause issues later in the future, just like gumming up the works. But if this thing is like some aberration, a magic creature that has a mind of its own, I would frightened to see what it does next.
Well, I appreciate the assistance in assessing my current state. If you would be so kind to reattach my frontal armor plating.
Real quick, as he just puts like his entire weight back on the plate and just reattaches it back into place. Now, if you wanted me to get you a new body, I could just take your head and put it on the new body, or take your core, put it in the new body. Um, just let me
I
know.
unfortunately do not have the funding to do that, but if I acquire the funding and find myself in need of new body, I will come back to acquire more services.
Well,
Come on.
currently you're in the city that is kind of known for making people money, so it might not be all that difficult to acquire said money. Uh, but I can let you at least know of the options. I have several
That would
tiers.
be appreciated.
I have several tiers of construct that I could move. There is, of course, the non-humanoid options. I do not work with them all that much, but I could easily acquire one for you here. There are a lot of uh, golem smiths here who have a lot of non-humanoid constructions. Those tend to be the cheapest, as they are not as articulated as the humanoid ones I make. They tend to
I think
range starting at 1,000 gold.
I think for my current job requirements, I would need to be as articulate as I currently am, if not more.
Non-humanoids ones tend to lack hands. You still be able to talk, of course, not be able to manipulate many weapons. We built them into your uh the humanoid ones. The cheapest ones we have are 1,500. Um, but if you wanted a upgraded version of what you currently are, those tend to go 2,000 gold and above.
I appreciate the information on my options should I need it. I will let you get back to what you are doing for now, as there is more to do in the time remaining.
Just
But
saying, Moon. I'm willing to give you my money for that to help.
Add a character. I don't want to do it yet.
Yeah,
But
fair enough.
well, if you ever change your mind, I would be more happy to scrap that body and burn it and never let it ever touch another construct again. So come back when you have the money, and hopefully it doesn't progress too much.
of course. And Moon will give him a nod and then go to leave.
He just he opens the door for you out and then just hops back towards his human construct, looking slightly more unnerved than he had before.
Hmm.
If you ever out of character, if you ever do want to get your a new body, just let me know what you would want it to be able to do, and I will give you a price.
Sounds good. Uh, I shall put that under the options of things I have.
Yes, you know how far it has spread inside of you. Pretty much everywhere. Just not outwardly yet.
Emphasis on yet.
So while this was happening, Ebony doing.
Ebony is doing something that she hasn't done in a while and grounding herself. She's taking a minute to take stock of everything that's happened and letting it go as much as she can.
What all is tempting to let go?
Her fear, her anger,
Anger towards what?
that she couldn't stop what happened to Moses. Um, her anger about that situation is very abundant.
Is she angry
Um,
at herself?
somewhat. Um, but her fear is more about not being able to save people that need saving because she's had two party members technically die, but Moses isn't dead yet. So, right.
Particular, Gary was more directly.
Right.
Um, so as you try to ground yourself and let go, make a wisdom.
Wisdom. Wisdom.
And as you try to like almost like go into a meditative, try to ground yourself and try to eat that anger and fear away. Kind of fall into a daze. And feel at least a little bit of that fear and anger. And you just hear that voice in your head as it just says, and it's gone. Same voice at the club that you guys.
That would concern Ebony.
Part of you
And
said, "See you again." Maybe this power, the one done deep. Make an Arcana check. An 11. You have advantage because you are a freaking mage, and this is a magical effect
Oh
that.
my god.
Are
Oh
you
my god.
serious?
oh
Uh,
my god.
That's amazing.
well, get no more insight on that. You just know somehow you heard the creature's voice in your head again for a short amount of time, and it seemed to take some of your fear and anger away. I was really hoping to give you that insight. Nope, you failed your DC
Oh,
12.
oh, jeez.
It was fate then. It was fate to be an 11. You were not supposed to know.
Oh.
Hey,
So Ebony would take off for a healer's tent.
a healer's test. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you're still are you specifically are you just trying to find like a medical facility?
Um,
Because there's no tents inside the city.
right. True. True. She would go wherever a healer would be.
Yeah.
A medical building, clinic.
You do know you do remember seeing like a medical a like a medical facility up in the upper city. Wanted to go there. Um,
She does.
you would arrive in the upper city shortly after the rest of the party does to go to their adventure in their inventors guild. So you head over to the medical like the uh essentially a healers guild, but
Okay.
more broad than that.
Okay.
Uh, you don't see a ton of people here, aside from some patients, like some upper wealthy who are getting like checked out here. See like maybe a good handful of physicians here. What do you do?
She waits patiently for one of them to be free, knowing their job is very, oh,
Important.
important. Yes.
Stressful.
You do of after like maybe like 20 minutes of waiting, you do see one that is available to talk to.
Excuse me.
Yes, it is a human man. What can I do for you?
You know that $120 drink at the one club?
Talking about
The magic drink at the one club that's 120 gold?
It's
are you
called
meaning the tavern?
Yes.
um there are many magical drinks in the city.
One that is supposed to give you a special effect that could or could not be permanent.
Uh again, that doesn't really like lower it down in scope. Uh Most of them don't give permanent effects, of course. There are drinks that are sold in a lot of places that can like make you fly for a bit or change your color or make you glow. Uh
I'm talking about the one at the such and such tavern. And she'd give him the name of the tavern that they were at.
y- I stay here in the I do not go down into the lower sea. It's quite dangerous for my profession. Um,
But you know of it, yes?
I do not know of what you exactly speak. I'm a doctor. I'm not a inventor. I'm not an alchemist. Not a mage.
I'm a Jim. I'm a doctor.
Is there something wrong with you that I can take a look at? That is more my expertise.
Possibly. Possibly. I'm hearing voices.
Ah, this new thing?
Yes.
No. Mental health is very important. Is does this at all run in your family?
No.
And do you think this magic drink did that?
Considering it was the same voice as what I saw in the vision? Yes.
Well, all I can say is if it is something magical in nature, I would recommend Ages Guild, which is about the other corner of this upper city. They might be able to do something. If it is of a more physical, mental nature, maybe see a therapist. I perform surgeries. I have healing spells. I can't do anything about schizophrenia.
Really, Chris?
Well, I
Jeez.
mean, I mean, he's telling you that he doesn't recognize the drink.
Can you point me in the direction of the person I need to talk to then?
Right at the other of upper city.
All right. Thank you.
Good luck with your hearing voice thing. Uh, as you head out, talk to the
Uh,
mages about the arcane problem.
yes.
You guys are probably leaving the guild at about the same time. Um, whether or not you could probably meet up if you spotted each other. Um, as you guys want to gather back up together?
Might as well.
She's
Sure.
not looking around. She's focused on where she needs to go. So they would have to follow her.
The three of you can make perception checks to see her if you.
Sure, why not?
All right. Let me roll that advantage, but that's a 7. I don't see you. I'm distracted in thought.
Oh, Bala, you do spot Ebony, like 50 feet away, going to a different direction.
She just hollers out and waves. Hey, where are you going?
The noise does not carry very far. You 50 feet away in fairly busy area.
Fair enough. I'm gonna try chasing her. I'm gonna tell the others. Hey, she's over here. Let's go.
Uh, Ebony, as you go off toward the Mages Guild, the party about 50 feet back from you, um, following you. What do you do?
She heads straight into the Mages Guild.
See, there is mostly the most people here seem to be like on the younger side, like possibly students, who are being trained by mages. But you do see a few like older, uh, or like men and women, like and elves, like who are like just talking and discussing among themselves. Go up to one, say, "What can we?"
Well, I took this drink down at such and such tavern, and now I'm hearing voices.
A
It's the
voice?
same voice. It's the same voice that I heard in my vision after I drank the drink.
Had a few people go in, take that drink as a dare. Not all that often. Know of a guy who takes it, a person who's been expelled from doing kinds of experiments and examine you. Uh, Things to try to figure out what it is. Nobody
I
who's
just want to make sure that I'm not going to be a threat to my party.
okay. And to pose to me entering mind real quick, I can take a closer look.
What do I need to do?
Let me in. As
All
they kind
right.
of like put their hands like few inches from both sides of your head and like cast a spell. Do you let them in?
She struggles with it for a second, but then she lets them in.
You let them in. The other thing does not. As their spell rebrowns and they let out a scream and back up a bit with their hands kind of like searing, like almost seared with like a bright red. Uh, Whatever it is, did not like me prying.
Her
Uh,
eyes widen as she takes in the hands.
are
But
currently tied by some kind of magical tether. They have essentially surrounded your mind with their force to make it so nobody else can peer into you. I don't know what it is, but it is very powerful, and I am not going to try that again.
a- am I a danger to my party?
I do not believe so. The connection it's to have is a protective one, not a manipulation. They seem to be blocking outside sources, getting at you.
Okay.
Anything that makes you safer, part of your party can affected. Starts to progress in a different way, or you feel yourself losing yourself, that's another thing entirely. For now, it doesn't seem dangerous. Anybody other than try to get into you.
All right. Here, take this. And she holds out 10 gold pieces.
Much appreciated. Um, I am going to rest, try to heal up from whatever that was. As they take the gold, put it in a pouch, and just walk away. As the rest of their party just comes in the guild shortly after this happens.
Hmm.
Everything okay?
Bala, guys, Um, yeah, everything's fine.
All right. Feeling a little bit out of place in here, considering I'm the only person who doesn't cast magic, but I hope your resting time went all right. But I was completely unaware of what happened.
Are you okay, Ebony?
Yes, Fred, I'm fine, my dear. And he would hear her mispronunciation on that one word, but he wouldn't know what to do about it.
Pats her on the back. All over.
Yes, yes, we are. Come, let's go back to the inn. I'm
As to
assuming
when
your mission up here is finished.
I have acquired information about
Is
my
it
current
is it good
is it
information?
it is confusing. The parasite is fusing with me. Body replacement is obtainable, though may not be needed in the end.
Why do you say it might not be needed in the end?
Do not know how this parasite will affect me. As the expert had said, if it did not kill me yet, it probably does not want me dead.
It doesn't mean that you'll be in control of your body in the future.
Exactly.
As I said, body replacement is obtainable.
All right. Well, if we're finished up here, let's go.
Hmm?
Sure.
It is still relatively early in the day, probably getting close now. So you have the entire city now. So you know that there is a casino. You know there is a gladiatorial, possibly there if you want. Know that there is a possible theater. You don't currently city of ultimate freedom.
I know what Ebony's going to do.
Oh,
She's going to go try out for the gladiatorial arena.
Oh, that does sound fun.
Of course, everyone will spend a day killing things, maybe making a buck out of it.
keeping our fighting skills up is a good idea.
Start heading. Take you like 30 to 45 minutes to do so, since you are right near the entrance of the Opera City. It is very busy here. this part of the city. Um, this is like a pre entertainment for a lot of adventure, like as you can bet on the on fights in the uh as you guys get in, there is a large, like almost like reception area where you can place bets. Just purchase a ticket to just view regularly. There is also a another like side entrance to actually fight in the auditorium.
Ebony would go to that entrance.
Red walks with her.
I think we're all going.
Everybody wants to take place or fight into.
Sure,
Okay,
why not?
so walk up and there's like a desk there, slightly into the entrance. Like a it's hard to tell whether or not it's a half orc or it's a Goliath. It looks like kind of like the mix of both. Uh, like they have the Goliath size and skin color, but they have like orcs tusks and the like. And he just so already won fight.
Might as well.
You are newcomers. Your options are you can choose fight in one-on-one fights. You can choose fight party versus party, or if chance of gaining fame, sure of yourself, hit your entire party, our fighters.
Yeah. Red looks at the others. What do you think?
I'm up for it. I'm up for anything.
Good.
Oh,
Hmm.
we really need to work on our party fighting, getting it more smoother.
I thought we were doing pretty good.
We are, but like I said, there's always room for improvement.
Speak up for yourself. Every time I fight, I feel like an 1 inch from that, if not for you guys.
That's what being in a group is for. We got your back.
Yeah, we do. I'm grateful for that.
You want to try the last option?
Out of character, I didn't hear the last option because I was yawning.
Fighting one of their champions, basically.
Yeah.
Or hire a team.
Ah, um,
I don't know if we got the bones for that though. Who knows? Maybe we're fighting someone who's level 18 or something.
No, a level 18 character would not be in the freaking. They would be
Fair
like a
enough.
king somewhere.
Fair
yeah,
enough.
let's do the final option. Let's fight one of their champions.
Sounds
Okay,
good to me.
If anything,
I
it should be
will.
entertaining.
Why don't you head off into the barracks, and I'll see if any of them be up to fight. Sure, we'll have more than a couple that would be willing to play balls.
I mean,
Fair
out of
enough.
character, even if we lose, it's still gonna be great experience into learning to fight. Just
Yeah.
better. In fact, the best outcome would be if we lose. Not getting absolutely dominated, just
No, the
So
best outcome is us winning, darling.
it's out of character.
for these, as he's walking it, he starts walking and talking. You do not have to pay anything to fight. That is entirely up. Well, you do profit pretty much no matter what. It's just whether or not you win. When you get a portion of the profits, the winning bets, lose get a small portion of the bets that were on you. It's some people like voting on the underdog. For all you know, you might still win like a couple hundred. It depends. Couple crowd favorites here. As he opens a set of double doors into the area under the arena, see a bunch of people currently like training dummies or sparring with each other. Do see two people sparring in like in like this pit in the center of the area that seem to have gathered a crowd. Um, it is a appears to be a rather large half orc with, weirdly enough, seeming like silver scales growing on several parts of his body. Uh, he is wielding a giant great axe that seems to be made out of like a very like almost like a tree trunk of a handle, and a like a giant like look like made of obsidian of like the axe head, and he is currently making large heavy swings at a very lithe dark elf wielding a double-edged sword, like the handle has like long swords on each end, and he is currently dodging each of his blows, only taking minimal damage. And the crowd seems to be just watching them in awe as they're currently going head to head, like toe to toe, rather. There's like a mixture of like Goliaths, uh, some full blown orcs, a bunch of half orcs, um, dwarves, a few elves that seem to be just like much smaller than everybody else around them, and that definitely doesn't give them a complex. You see a few humans. Weirdly, a halfling sitting at a table somewhere. Just has like two daggers on each side. What do you do?
I'm gonna go watch these two.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch the fight in the pit.
Hey,
That
I'm
sounds
gonna
like a
see,
good idea as well.
I'm gonna see about practicing some swings if there's any mannequins or facilities available.
there are definitely some training dummies that you can go and hit with your weapon a bunch.
Yeah.
Uh, a lot. Some of there are seems to be a decent number of training dummies that are currently aren't being used, distracted by this fight. Um, as you get a closer look, as the rest of you get a closer look at the fight going on, um, the you definitely see that this half orc is freaking huge. He is bigger than most of the other half orcs you have probably seen. Uh, he does have what seems to be actually like in like as part of his skin silver scales. So he probably isn't like the half orc half human blend that a lot of other half orcs are. Um,
Interesting.
his he definitely looks like that. His weapon definitely looks like, even for his size, it looks bigger than what he should be able to wield. Um, and whenever it hits the ground, despite the fact that the ground is mostly sand under them, it leaves almost a crevice that gets filled in by the sand every time it hits something. Um, and you could probably gather if this weapon hit her head, hit the female drow head on, it would probably do serious damage. So a lot of her movements are just to avoid getting hit head on. She is able to land quite a few hits on the half orc, but he seems to be able to resist a lot of the damage. So they are pretty much literally on even footing. She is doing more damage, but he is resisting more of it. Eventually, about after like 10 more minutes of a very intense fight, they seem to both like tire out a bit and just stop fighting with like no obvious winner between the two, and they just get like they do like a fist bump that turns into like just a warrior's hug before splitting up, and just walk like both walking out of the pit together, and the crowd kind of just like they go from like the like the excited like boos and everything from the fight, just looking kind of disappointed that one of them didn't make a serious victory over the other. But just you just hear, don't be too disappointed. They always do this. Before everybody just kind of disperses, and you see the two people just go over to like a table and just start sharing like a drink of whatever they're drinking.
Well, that was intense. You're
What'd
muted.
you say, Pete?
I said that was intense.
Ah,
That was an impressive display. Definitely.
hmm.
What do you guys do after this fight has or this sparring match has ended?
I think we should relax until we get called.
But it's still pretty much just getting into the motions of swinging.
After a bit, the the guy who was to talk to you before comes back over. We've got a couple choices. Um, Willing to do this fight with you. A couple of them are our two strongest fighters. He points over to the two people that you saw sparring before. Uh, they both are always up for a one versus all fight. There's a couple lesser ones, but they are less interesting. If you face those two over there, you'll certainly make more money. Higher risk, higher reward.
Of course, of course.
It all depends. Would you like the higher risk, higher reward, or the less risk, less reward?
Now, I think the higher risk, higher reward is going to be beneficial because it'll give us a chance to fight against somebody who's stronger than us.
Not only that, we seem to be an all-in kind of party.
It is sound logic.
Well, and if we
So,
die in the process, that's fine too.
You won't die. We have we have a cleric who stays here and heals up any wound that are taken, and he also casts a spell that's essentially if you do go down, you are essentially brought immediately to the barracks where
Oh, well, all the more reason to make the fight more interesting then.
Yes, we do not want any of our gladiators to die in the arena. It'd be bad for our public image. And it
So which one do
allows
we
for,
go with?
well, it is up to you. Uh, but if you want, you can go over and talk to them, or simply just make it a surprise for you.
I like that idea, making it a surprise.
Okay,
Well,
I will have them go flip a coin.
well, instead of them flipping a coin, what if we do both of them together?
Oh, if you did both of them together, you'd surely lose.
You think? You haven't seen us fight now, have you?
I have.
Those
Oh,
two
where's your
have been.
spirit of adventure,
I'm
Fred?
telling you right now, those two have been fighting over the championship role back and forth for over 5 years now, and they are both part of a very well-renowned venturing party.
Try one first, and then maybe later we can do both.
Oh, all right.
Hey, and he just takes a coin out of his pocket and just walks over to the two adventurers. And now I will roll a 1d2. You see as they flip a coin, the uh the half orc immediately just goes, yeah, and chugs another cup of ale before putting slamming it back down on the table. And the drow the dark elf woman just looked kind of disappointed, but still like a soft smile appears on her face. Um, the half orc just immediately starts walks out of the barracks towards the arena.
Well, now, looks like we got the orc.
Somebody's gonna fly.
This should be fun.
I'm sure this one's not gonna be the leader now.
If I remember correctly, it is because you have exclaimed yourself to be the leader.
Yes, and Bala will, in a very silly manner, swing her sword upwards, kind of making like a He-Man pose.
So the man comes back. You are free to go into the arena whenever you're ready. Good luck. Yes, certainly the uh I certainly wouldn't have picked it if I were you, but hey, you left it up to chance.
We'll see how fast we get our bones crushed.
Don't worry, any crushed bones will be uncrushed.
That's the fun part.
Try to at least make a good show out of it. As he just pats uh he pats Fred on the back, the much smaller half elf or half orc, as kind of like almost pushes you towards the towards the hallway leading to.
It starts walking that way.
As you guys walk down the hall, um, towards the entrance, you see the half orc, uh, talking to this much large, like a very large warforged, who is heavily armored, much like Moon, but bigger, as his parts of his armor seemingly kind of glow a dim red. Uh, and as you get closer, you see he also has a glowing red rune on his forehead.
Hmm.
Uh,
Neat.
and the half orc and the warforged seem to be very close friends, as the half orc kind of just puts the warforged like in a headlock and just like gives him like a noogie, and you see like a tiny dent appear in the warforged head before it slowly just pops back out. And he just get the warforged and the half orc just kind of give a fist bump before he walks into the arena. The warforged kind of just acknowledges you, and just says luck as you walk towards the arena.
Thanks, man.
Oh, this should be fun. This will be fun.
uh, you get guys auditory. You guys can put your tokens out wherever,
Sure.
preferably like back further back.
We are fighting the DM.
This is gonna be. Of course, you probably won't actually get to the fight in this session because the session's over. But you'll at
Yeah, if you
least get
wanna,
to hear who this is.
Oh,
Okay. As you each go to your halves of the arena, the arena, as like you heard just coming in, as soon as this half work entered the arena, there were loud cheers. This guy probably seemed to be a favorite of the arena, as he just drags his great axe behind him, uh, almost in a display of intimidation. Uh, just then he just holds it above his head, just letting out his own war cry, and then you guys go to your side. The bets are definitely not for you. Uh, it seems. So if you do manage to win, very high reward.
Let's hope
You hear
we
the
can.
arena say, "Now, this is surely going to be an entertaining fight. Our champion, Galabar, the half-orc, half-dragonborn, has agreed to fight these newcomers. Seem to think themselves competent enough to win. Let's see if they truly. Let's fight." And that is where we will end today's session.
Fun,
whoa.
fun roleplay session.
Next session, you guys get to fight Galabar.
Isn't that one of your characters?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
That Warforged is one of that was
Hold on,
three
remind me real
characters.
quick. Is that Warforged